Welcome, welcome, welcome to Scottish Watches Live. Hopefully you are seeing this as the YouTube seems to have been a little bit delayed in connecting, but hopefully you're there and you're joining us for what I think is either the 11th or 12th time we've done this. But thank you all for joining us. We have our usual suspects plus an additional Scotsman replacing a Scotsman that can't make it. So we will start as we normally do. And on my screen this week, in the top left-hand corner, we have joining us from somewhere that she isn't normally, but she's going to tell us where she is and what she's wearing is Sophie.
Hello, I am actually in south of France in Marseille. I braved the pandemic and decided to fly across the ocean. And I'm wearing a Omega Speedmaster with a blue dial.
Nice. Very nice. And then next up is Sean.
Hi everyone, it's Sean from the Complicated Wrist. Today I'm wearing my Omega Planet Ocean, the 42mm one. Love it.
2 Omegas in a row. Can we make
Omega brother.
Can we make it 3 out of 3? Because next up is Arthur.
No, I'm sorry. I missed the memo. Yeah, hey, I'm Arthur. I'm Tick Tick Vroom on Instagram, and I'm wearing my Black Bay 58, the black and gilt one.
Good, good. And then there's a reasonable chance this man might be wearing Omega. We have Philologus. Where are you?
Hi guys, Philologus from Singapore here, Wild Wristwatch on Instagram. I'm wearing the Black Bay 58 too.
Ooh.
So that's 2 instead of
2
Omega.
and 2.
Who's gonna break?
I don't have an Omega actually.
This man is almost certainly key to ruining everything, because next on my screen, joining us from Oz, is another Scotsman doing time in Australia. It's Alex, also known as the Watch Regulator from Fifth Wrist Radio. What are you wearing and where are you, Alex?
I'm still in lockdown in Melbourne. So yeah, I'm wearing a very kind of lockdown watch. I'm wearing my latest and only G-Shock, a GBX 100, I think is the code for it. Yeah.
Wait a minute, you don't wear that watch on your own podcast. You're not allowed to wear it in ours.
I wear this in the podcast all the time. You need to listen more.
Well, actually, maybe should. So next up then, let's see if she can balance the Black Bays versus the Omegas. We have Stateside Sam. Where are you? What are you wearing?
Yeah, hey, I'm Sam. You can find me on Instagram at Sam in her watch box. And yeah, I went for something different today. I went for my Doxa Sub 200 on Black Band.
Ooh.
Reminds me of summer. And over here in Colorado where I am, it snowed on Labor Day. So
Oh, wow.
not liking the weather right now.
Oh, okey doke.
Like the watch.
It doesn't even isn't Scott. Let's see. Cool. Right then, Derek, it's up to you because Ricky's going to be no use and I'm wearing a Panerai. So what are you wearing?
I'm not going to help either camp. I'm Derek Hager in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm wearing my Anordane Model 2.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bonus
No points for either team.
Bonus points for a Scottish watch though. And then we have Ricky.
Yes, we do.
Where
What
are
am I
you?
wearing? Oh,
What are you wearing?
Batman,
Oh,
because I took the Oris off.
right, okay.
You're such a show off.
Yeah.
I'll have you know, we were in Rolex today, and I wore the Oris. So
He
no.
did. He did.
Nice.
You did. Oh, wow. Okay.
Does that count as half a Tudor and the Tudors win?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good.
That's exactly where I'm at.
Oh, well.
They both have the same tutor, so that just counts as one watch.
Oh, I don't know, Sean. They seem to be making up rules on the fly here.
It's kind of what I do.
This isn't good.
That's what the lawyer says that? Yeah.
There are no rules until I make them.
Just in the same way that we give Rolexes, special names, the Kermit, the Smurf, etc. Rolex today, when we were in, actually named Ricky. So
Well,
Ricky's
one of the
Rolex.
employees did.
So from here on in, Ricky shall be known as Barry.
You know why she called me Barry?
No.
It's because I've got 2 places in the waiting list.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah.
person on the waiting list.
That's
Anyway,
it.
so we were in there earlier on this afternoon, and we saw one particularly stunning watch. I don't know if you're able to either share the image or just show it on the screen. I've never, I know of this watch, but I've certainly never seen one. I think this will be right up Sophie Street. I don't know if you
It's
can
not gonna focus in on it.
focus. This
Right
was
there.
is a that a day date?
Got no idea. What is it? No, just a date just.
Was this a date just, a bejeweled solid gold date just with gem set, Rolex gem set of orange and pink crown outside? And actually, it was pretty rocking, wasn't it? If you'd had 60
Well, we
grand.
saw that.
Uh-huh.
We saw that one, and
What else did we see?
We got to play with the new stuff.
So
that's the new Oyster Perpetual.
Yeah.
And we had the coloured ones, but he wouldn't show us them because somebody was coming in to buy them.
Yes. So that was our lot. So this week, what do we have? Well, we thought we would focus a little bit on something that's gone a bit under the radar thus far, which is GPHG. So
that's because we didn't have the two broke watch snobs on this year.
That's right. Well, we normally do the 2-hour episode with them towards the end. So we'll see whether we try.
Seems to only be one of them at the moment.
Yes, the two broke watch snobs is
one broke watch snob,
one
and guest,
and somebody else. So GPHG, we're going to have a quick look at today. Sophie's still crying because she has not been invited to be a judge this year. Have you ever been a judge, Sophie?
No, I've never been a judge, but I've done. I had a lot of interaction with the GPHG over the years, and actually Tucker participated twice. So I was not happy, and I let them know. I think they I don't know. They just said that they had mixed up my emails, that they couldn't send me emails anymore, whatever.
Oh, that sounds
we'll
like.
See about next year.
Okay.
Do we not use that excuse, Rick?
Yeah, we use that excuse all the time. Yeah, we didn't get you.
Is that yeah? It's the perfect excuse. I guess we don't have your email anymore.
This is the long list, so there's a load of stuff on here. I'm not sure what the rules are as to whether if you just pay the fee and you send in your images, whether you get to be on the long list. In which case, we should raise some money next year for putting like a G-Shock. Alex, we should get your G-Shock on the GPHG.
I think
next year.
It looks overqualified compared to some of these other watches on here.
So I don't know if everyone's had a chance to have a wee look. There is actually a watch on here that somebody is wearing. In fact, I suppose, no, you're not wearing that. There is an Anne Ordain on here somewhere.
So yeah, I saw that.
Why don't we start?
It's further down.
I think it's at the Petite Aiguille, which is.
That's just every watch that's ever been made.
I think it's just stuff.
There we go. That was
you just passed it.
It was in the challenge category.
Challenge,
they call it.
Okay, so it's up a bit more. Oh, I can't see it. This is just gonna.
You passed it again.
the challenge is right again, I think.
There we go.
There you go.
And so this is the green Fume Model 2. Is this the one you've got?
No, I have the before they were doing the Fume. I just have the regular blue color.
But it's the Model 2 you've got rather than the Model.
Yeah.
These are pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see as to whether this gets through. It's obviously of no particular mechanical exception. I think it's a mixture of the early ones. These had ETAs in them, and the more recent ones have Solitas in them. Right. But obviously the Fume dial is what it's all about. Who else has actually seen one of these? Has anyone had a chance to play one of these at Wind Up Watch Fair or somewhere?
Is Sophie making her dinner?
I don't know, Sophie, what are you doing?
She's in her kitchen.
I'm sorry, there is construction in this building, and I hear the actual and it drives me nuts. I'm trying to find a room where I can't hear it. So okay. I'm sorry, I'm moving a little bit.
Who's handled an Anne Ordain? Anybody else?
Yeah,
me.
Yeah, I was at Wind Up last year, and I think I got to see some of the Fume dials in person. They're really good. They're really good in person. I mean, enamel dials are cool all on its own, but with the texture that they're doing now, it adds a whole different level to the dials. So the watch is a lot more interesting for them.
Yeah, they are good. They're quite spectacular, and they have to make an awful lot of them in order to get it right.
It's a nice watch.
Yeah.
What
is the challenge category? Isn't that like it's like sub $5,000 or?
Yeah, that's what
like
it used to be. I don't know. This year, I'm not sure how it works anymore because now there is the academy. It used to be that any brand who wanted to participate would pay 500 francs and send their file. and it would be accepted or not. And if it wasn't accepted, it was just 500 francs that would be lost, and that's it. And if it was accepted, then you would pay, I believe it was $5,000 or francs to continue the whole thing. But then the watches would travel because the GP had like this kind of world tour. I know they were going to Dubai, to Mexico, I want to say Monaco as well, and a couple other places in the world, and then come back to Geneva. And then the prize would be attributed to the winner in each category the night of the big event of the Grand Prix in Geneva. But this year it's different because the Academy, I guess, chose their watches. I think it's the suggestions of the Academy, but brands also submitted their choices. So what we are seeing here are not the finalists. This is what it has been pre-selected. Out of those, I would think that the Academy or the judges are going to select maybe 5 of each category that then will compete the night of the GP. So I think the next selection is on the 25th of September from the judges. And then in November 12 is the night of the grand finale, where one watch of each category will win.
So this is like the quarterfinals, pretty much.
Kind of, yes, yeah.
So this is an OIC and Vice here, which actually Ricky was taking photographs of yesterday because we've got one of these in. Yes. I quite like it. You don't like it quite as much as I do.
I thought it was a bit of a grindy mechanism.
The bracelet is odd.
Is it really almost 16 millimeters thick? Is that right?
I didn't feel that big.
It doesn't feel like that big either. It is a thick watch. There's no doubt about that.
Is some of that domed crystal or something? Maybe that doesn't feel.
Yeah. The crystal is hard to photograph.
There'll be a bit of that. So, what watches have anybody been inclined to?
What's this thing that's falling out the middle?
This is the Heged. So my assumption is that.
Did you make this?
It's like this majorly customizable. I don't know how you say that in English. Watch, where basically you can have you have many options with it. You can have different cases, bezels.
It's a glory hole watch.
Yeah, it's I met him actually in Paris last year, and he was super interesting. He's like a major geek. Like, this guy is super tech oriented and very geek, and he came up with this concept. But I know it's a very versatile watch. I don't remember exactly what it does, but I know you can really have many watches in one. And his price is fairly competitive, if I remember correctly. It's probably like in the 4,000.
Yeah, 3.5.
Even less.
Francs.
Oh, there it is. Yes, 3.5. Okay.
I'm not really sure that it wants a GPHG in terms of, it comes apart and allows you to put other watch faces in or other straps. I'm not sure that's really what the GPHG is about, but I guess up to the judges.
Do we know
like
what
an
it is
old
about
Pops
anymore?
watch almost?
It fits the challenge, right? The challenge is keeping track of all the dials and stuff when they're falling out of the watch.
This is the challenge category we're looking at, right? I mean, there it is.
Yeah, that one's got traction. It's gonna win.
No, it has no traction because I thought it was like completely slippery and stuff.
Did you guys hear on the Hodinky podcast they were talking about this? Saying, no, it's not plastic. It's not plastic.
Yeah, it's me. Maybe it's my ego that thinks that that's because they've listened to us calling it plastic.
Right.
Yep. That they have to balance the scales. But it's I don't care what anybody says. It's plastic. It's made out of oil that comes out the ground. Therefore, it's plastic. So,
resin.
Yeah. Poured resin. But I mean, that probably is that a worthy watch for this sort of category? I don't know. It's difficult to tell. So anything that's anybody's like the look of?
Well, it's the thing in the middle that looks like an unhappy face. That one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's kind of cray. I don't even know how you can read the time. It's like the counters look same color as everything else.
It actually looks like a Deadpool mask. If
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
a
was thinking.
grouper.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Color is
thing.
cool.
Rupert.
I was.
It's a grouper watch.
10 grand.
It's you think that I suspect that the category limit's 1,000, and that this is 9,999.
Oh my God! Wow.
I think
I
if
don't
you
know,
read that
man.
description, is it supposed to be an ant? Read that first line of the description.
It's from the collection We Ant Story.
of all ants is greater than the mass of all humans.
I don't know. It looks like a fish to me. I see scales. I
Yeah.
see the face of a grouper, and I see like an alien.
So there you go.
Angry grouper.
Quite
coming from Mars.
Sarpaneva. This is the Sarpaneva Moomin watch.
Oh yeah.
I think that's quite.
That's cool.
I think that's all right. I mean, Sarpaneva is obviously a decent brand, well-made watches, and this is a bit. This is very whimsical in terms of Sarpaneva. So I'd give this a vote if they ever ask us what we think. There we go.
I don't know how wearable this is.
The Sarpaneva.
I don't know. I mean, I love the brand and who's behind the brand, and I this is really cool when it's with the loom effect, but on the black and white version, not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a black and white version that looked different under loom. Oops.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, it's not. Is that two different versions?
No, I think
I think it's the same watch. It's just loomed.
Yeah.
So that is the loom.
Yeah, that's the loom.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool then. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So you have to wear it at night with a UV light with you all the time.
How much is this one? Is it quite cheap?
As all the best watch nerds do, it is 5,380. So
Oh, damn, it's pretty good.
That's okay, actually.
That's a good price.
It's limited edition of 75. So I think that's decent. It's too.
Would you get that instead of a Ming?
Yep.
Yes.
The size is great though.
Yes, I would. Now, obviously, friends of the show have been on this show as well. Landon, this is the Orage Tourbillon 1 has been submitted.
Good. I hope they will make the second round.
Yeah. You've got to hope that, bear in mind, there's tourbillon watches on here elsewhere, and that this is a tourbillon featuring in the less than 10 grand section, that they should make it. So otherwise, there's no justice in the world. But then there is no justice in the world, so who knows? So that's that. Anybody else? We spoke about this briefly on the podcast. This brand, Itai Noi. Anyone come across them in their work?
Yeah, I have. Actually, Itai is a very good friend of mine. I went to visit him in Israel, and I went to visit his whole atelier and where he makes his watches. I met his team there. He's amazing. This guy is extremely creative, and he's got a beautiful life story and how he became a watchmaker and how he discovered that his grandfather or his great uncle was a watchmaker before the war. And it was like his life story is fantastic. And he has the real true love of horology and always comes up with something different. So, you might like or not like the designs or the cases. The cases are kind of, acquired tastes. But his complications, this case is more simple, but the other one has those kind of screws on the side. He competes in 2 categories I saw. I don't know, I think the other one is complications maybe, or maybe it's moon.
Difficult to keep track because
I know. I love this Van Cleef, I have to say. Like on that category, the Van Cleef and the one right before it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so pretty. If you look at the second picture, it's like a bangle. It's very lady, it's very feminine, very pretty. Yep. And I love what they did. I think it's absolutely precious. And the one before it, I don't want to monopolize the whole thing, but this one, Sissy, or like the Imperatrice, the guy who is making this watch, his name is Roshan Martin. He's a very strong designer, and he actually created the thinnest tourbillon of all time that he never succeeded to fund in order to release it. So hopefully with this, he can maybe gain some visibility and be able to do his tourbillon, which is absolutely unbelievable. He started this in 2015, this project. So hopefully, you know, he will be able to do it this year. But that watch is extremely rare because it has those pink diamonds that are argyle and very difficult to find on Earth.
Cool. I noticed that Wempe have like gone to town on this year's GPHG.
Yeah.
The four end.
That UN's quite nice as well. It looks like a Doxa.
Yeah.
Just and that dox is in
carbon
this
dox is
category
in there
too.
too, yeah.
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 How much is that one, Rick?
So you've got the docs at the top of the page, and docs at the bottom of the page. So the UN is actually under 10 grand. That's
good.
That's not. I mean, in all seriousness, because that docs is for a UN that's cheap, and for a doxa that's expensive because that's under 5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's that. I hadn't noticed the price. That's quite interesting. It's 44 mil. It's a limited series of 300. Yeah, that's quite.
So this one is titanium carbon, and the doxa is just carbon fiber,
right?
Forged carbon, yeah.
Forged carbon, right?
Both traction resistant.
Yeah.
They have to.
Has to be. You're a loser if you're not.
Has anybody seen one of those reservoir watches in real life? If you scroll down a little bit in
These
the middle there. Yeah.
They're very cool. I've
seen them.
Green.
How are they? I've never seen one in real life.
They're
I
cool.
like the idea.
They're good. They were at Basel the last couple of years.
They were at
really
Neiman
nice.
Marcus in New York, actually,
yeah?
when it was open. Yeah.
So this is the big watch. This is 45 mil, very much their dive watch, as opposed to Reservoir have something else in this contest. Way down here somewhere. If I can lay my hands on it, I have this one, which is the kind of traditional Reservoir size and jumper. Oh, this is
They've Christopher Warded that one a wee bit.
They have a bit, yes. To keep with the theme. But there we go. So anything else take anybody's attention within? I had a question about this feeling. Is it me? This is oval, isn't it? This isn't round.
No, it's round.
Yep, it's round.
It's just got things on each side. It's got archy horns on each side.
Is it just that it makes it look funny? Because that on the image doesn't look like a circular watch.
It's circular, Rick.
Is it? Right, okay, it's just me.
Just you.
Okay.
What's on the left though? Does anyone know?
Oh, what this is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Can you zoom in on it by clicking it again?
No, not on this.
It almost looks like some sort of like bezel lock button or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but good Lord, 48 millimeters and 17 thick.
Yeah, it says it's a special lock securing the ceramic bezel.
All right.
Right, go back one, Rick. Right, and scroll. The one below the Doxa has got the worst iPhone photo ever.
There's a little drab.
Quick,
I
we
don't
need to
like
submit
that.
a photo. Quick, guys. Let's get their iPhone with them. Jesus Christ.
This is such,
Oh,
such an
God, that-
odd-looking watch. I'm not.
Also
Quick,
not a very
Photoshop
good
the background out.
Just looks like a fake on eBay.
It's limited to 500 pieces. How many pieces does everybody think they'll actually make?
One.
5.
That is
That.
some.
I'm not sure they even made that one.
I think that just is.
There's
what
another
Sophie
Wempe
said there.
here.
Somebody's just thrown that in and went, here's $500.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more Wempes. The Moser, which is another Doxa.
Yeah, Cuervo Sobrinos also has a
Yeah.
couple.
That looked good. That Cuervo Sobrinos chronograph looked really interesting. Not a brand you hear a lot about, at least over here in the state.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice looking watch.
It's kind of Mont Blanc-ish.
It's nice. Yeah, it's really
Oh.
nice.
The lugs make me think Corn de Vac a little bit.
Reminds me of a Walkman, like way back.
Cool. Good. So Alex, you've been quite quiet. I know it's like 3 o'clock in the morning where you are. Have you just done no research whatsoever as you normally do in your...
I've done so much research. I've done at least 100% more research than I do for my show.
Right, okay.
I like the Josh Shapiro meteorite dial.
Right, where am I going to find that? Up or down?
Now you're asking. Back down, back down the way.
Good.
It was near something you were looking at earlier.
Top,
Okay.
middle, or bottom?
Higher or lower? Josh Shapiro. Right. Whoever can find it first wins absolutely nothing.
This is going to make a great podcast.
Yeah. Well, just the audio.
There we go.
Yeah,
Where is it?
Here.
Yeah, Infinity meteorite.
Just past it.
A little bit back up.
I can't-
You got
Right there.
Oh, there we go. It's all blending into one here at Director HQ. Yeah. So, so explain to me who this chap is.
He's just an American. I say just an American watchmaker. We've spoken to him. A couple of us have spoken to him, and one of our guys got him to make a watch for him. He's just like a really passionate watchmaker, but his the finish he does on the dial is supposed to be really kind of painstaking to get right. And he's doing it obviously in meteorite. And I know everyone does meteorite now, and that's like along with carbon cases, meteorite dials are like everyone's doing it. But it's just from what I understand and from listening to him talking about it's like a real long process to get the dial right. And again, I know lots of watchmakers say that as well. Like, we have to make 100 dials to get one that's right. But from what I understand, that's definitely the case with this one.
I know a little bit more about that. I saw him talk at the Horological Society. So he's based in California, and he does like hand engine turning of the dials. And he has like a proprietary design that he calls the Infinity Weave, that I guess nobody else does on those engine turning machines. So that's his thing.
And what's he using as movements?
I'm not sure. It's something a little bit higher end, but I'm not sure what it is.
I don't think it's his own.
No, it's not. It's not his
movement.
own.
Yeah.
Manual winding, mechanical. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really say.
Like it was
In
probably
the
like-
description down there, it says, if you scroll down, Rick, in-house manufactured caliber from Renwerk, Dresden.
All right. Okay.
Not familiar, but yeah, there you go.
Cool. Okey-doke.
I also liked another difficult one probably for you to find, even though it was near. Actually, you can see it there, the GOS top
Yeah.
Yes.
right. I really love the Damascus hands on it. It's not my favorite dial of his. I'm not a big fan of that dial configuration, but just Damascus hands on a watch and the Damascus movement. And I know there's a couple other people doing Damascus type movements, but I just think this one's probably one of the better ones that you can get. But yeah, I just think the hands look really cool. The bezel as well. It's just something a bit different, which is what I tend to look for now, because everything else just seems to blend together a lot.
It's got a bit
Very
of a
gothic.
Harry Potter feeling.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It was like Gothic,
I
but
hadn't
yeah, Harry
thought of that.
Potter.
like a
I thought it was really
soft-
cool, and now you've spoiled it by calling it Harry Potter for me. So.
That was a compliment. I meant that in a good way.
I mean, Pietro from the limited edition has retailed these for a number of years. Yeah, he's a big fan of them. So yeah, if you want to have a look at the full range of GOS, you'll find them on his website. Yeah, it's an acquired taste, but I think whether you like it, you can appreciate what's gone into it. So that's cool. Okay, some final thoughts from anybody, and then we'll move on to hit miss maybe for some of the items for this week.
Yeah, I think the iconic section is really lacking on iconic watches.
Yes, that's a very good point.
I mean, I can probably name the Doxa maybe and the Portuguese. I mean, other than that, you really don't see anything that stands out. Last year's one was the AP Jumbo Salmon, so that one is a clear winner. This one, I think the IWC takes it probably.
I think Bulgaria's going to take it this year.
I like that. one.
I'm between Bulgaria, maybe Piaget with the Altiplano. It's quite iconic with a very flat movement, very thin movement.
Yeah.
But
Does anybody know what the requirement is to be in the iconic category?
Pay the fee.
Yeah, no, I,
no
You just get
idea.
to pick your own.
I just judged off the name, man.
Yeah, I have to say, Bulgari, I think that is actually the most iconic one there, because I think that's the only watch, apart from the fact that it says Bulgari right on the outside, so maybe it's plainly obvious that someone that wasn't into watches would see this and have some sort of recognition that they had seen it somewhere before. It had kind of sunk into public consciousness, this Bulgari watch. I don't know what the Breitling's doing there. If you're going to be Breitling and submit an iconic watch, I don't know why you're
Ben Navy.
Makes no
Yeah,
sense.
it should be a Navy.
Yeah.
and the Doxa, I think, is an iconic watch if you happen to be one of about 1,000 nerds that know.
You have to be a watch
The
nerd.
GP is quite iconic.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, actually.
The
Yeah,
watch,
the case is really awesome.
and it's growing on me as an alternative to a Royal Oak. I think it's now starting to
That's
not.
because it's
Yeah.
a Panerai-esque look to the dial.
Yeah.
But I think that Laureato was actually made before the Royal Oak. That design.
Oh, is that so?
Really.
I think so. I will have
I think
to
it was
verify,
before the
but
Nautilus. I think it was after the Royal Oak, but before the Nautilus, I thought.
Mm.
was it? I know that I remember talking to GP at the SIHH about it, and I said, guys, I mean, this is like a Royal Oak. And he told me something about the fact that this was a model that was created before the Royal Oak, or before AP owned the design of the Royal Oak. And this is not a Gentra design.
No, I mean, according to the description, they said the Laureato was born in 1975. So the Royal was 1973, but the Nautilus was 76. So
So you were right, Sean.
Yeah.
But they're good looking watches. I don't think they
Yeah.
get the credit they deserve, because everyone just assumes it's another knockoff. But especially this black and gold thing, I think that's a really good look. Although I think it's a limited edition, right? So they're not making many of these.
Because it's an onyx dial. So yeah, I think
the
I like
dial's
it better for the fact that it has just a smooth dial, right? When it has the textured dial, it looks a little too much like it's trying to look like a Royal Oak, but this is sort of doing its own thing, you know?
That's true.
Like a beautiful, clean look, and I like that. And was it the early Vacherons, the overseas, were they also using GP movements too? Like, so
I don't know.
They have some history. Like, they've been in this integrated bracelet design for a while, and I think they're the ones that are getting overlooked the most, even though it's compelling, especially when you can get them used for like $6,000.
Yeah.
An issue with this watch is, why do they need to put the brand on it twice? So
fair point.
Yeah.
I think they should either have just been confident enough to just leave GP on it and get rid of all of this, or put
Did AP not do that with the Royal Oak though? They had AP and Audemars Piguet.
that is true.
Don't know.
Yep.
Not as if they're copying them or anything.
Not like I quite like
There
that.
is no AP here, right? Is there any AP in the entire selection?
Oh, and considering they did they not win 3 last year?
Yeah, but not even one in the selection?
No, they've
Odd.
not submitted any.
Sorry, are there deadlines on when you can submit? Like if watches are after release after that, then you can't submit them?
Well, this is why a number of these watches were rushed out at the last minute so that they could appear on here after they'd been lodged. So like that Breitling, for example, it was released the week, a few days before this list came out. I don't know what the actual cutoff is. This is an interesting one, then we'll move on. This is Constantine Chaikin Mars watch. This is cool.
Does this tell the time on Mars? Is that the thing?
Time on Mars and on Earth. So we've got Mars.
That's so useful, I have to say.
All those photographs. Anyway, so that's a quick look at GPHG. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's another few weeks before the shortlist comes out as a result of this. I mean, what's that Bell and Ross doing?
That was in it last year, was it not?
Who knows? They all look the same, like Panerais.
I just got a delivery.
Where'd you get a delivery of? Oh, it's your Oris.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Yay, it arrived.
The red bar stuff.
Should we do a
Yeah.
live unboxing? I'll screen
A
share. You.
live unboxing.
There's a box.
This will be horrible.
So you do that while I get up next screen. So the next watch we're going to speak about is actually a Fredrique Constant, who I don't think feature in this year's GPHG, while Ricky wrestles to get out of a cardboard box. Come on, for any sake. How difficult can it be to open a cardboard box? Oh, there we go.
There's nothing like an audio unboxing.
Wait for the audio loom shot.
We've done that.
He's
He's
like
got
the
the bubble
Benny
wrap.
Hill theme music on in the background.
Yeah.
We've
There you go.
Oh,
Get the alcohol out.
the alcohol has arrived.
Wait a minute, that's a tiny wee bottle. I
Well,
thought,
that's small.
It's okay. Roll it in
American-
a big champagne bottle.
or did you know,
What the
enormous
hell's this?
bottle of
It's
bourbon?
so cool that they did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Ricky, I was noticing in the American versions of that box, it was bourbon. I think you got Scotch whiskey, didn't you?
Looks like it, huh?
It's like they've robbed the local kind of.
Wait, did you have hot
Okay.
chocolate mug?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was just the liquor seems different, I think, in the
I
American.
don't know what this is.
What is that?
So
I have no idea. Water drop micro drink boost.
That box
There they are.
seemed
There they are.
comically
I
large.
guess,
for
I guess
what was
the
in it.
UK boxes are different.
yeah.
I guess so.
What the hell are these things?
What is this?
Those whiskey
MDMA?
stones?
I don't know. So, who knows?
While you're worrying about the instructions for there, let's share this screen. This is from Hodinky, Alex's favourite publication, and the Fredrique High Life Perpetual Calendar manufacturer. A couple of you thought that this was worth a look at this week. So who would like to lead us off talking about Fredrique Constant?
I guess I will. I thought it was an interesting release because it's a perpetual calendar in that oh so hot integrated bracelet look for under 10 grand US, which is pretty interesting. No matter what you think about the blue dial integrated sports watch look nowadays, I think it's a compelling offering for getting that much watchmaking in it. And I mean, I think everyone hates the globe design on the watch, which is reasonable. It seems unnecessary, but otherwise there's a lot of watch there for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there the globe design on this one?
Yeah, the
it's
globe's
hard to
more
tell.
obscured in this one.
Yeah,
so I think it's better.
That's probably the best thing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The three-hander is a little in your face with the globe,
Yeah,
but
the
I think this
300
works.
definitely has it.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful watch.
I like it.
It's a classic. You know, it's like, to me, it's a classic, solid watch. I love the bracelet. I think it looks fantastic. And I have no problem with the blue, but the price is just nuts.
Right.
Again, you know, it's also owned by the Chinese. So that, you know, we have to keep that in mind. Even though it's Swiss made, it's owned by a Chinese conglomerate. So they can probably get.
What does the
That-
case remind you of? Like the case shape looks familiar to me, and I can't work out.
It looks like an Omega
is.
constellation to me, the way they have it like divoted in the middle. It reminds me of the
Yeah, maybe
constellation.
that's.
Yeah,
Could say
from,
that.
from an angle, the way the case joins to the bracelet really looks like the constellation.
Yeah, it looks like a constellation with a Nautilus bracelet slapped on with an Aquanet like globe pattern, and boom,
Yeah,
high life.
it is definitely a Nautilus bracelet. Like,
But
With a little bit of overseas as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
So what we're saying is just a watch then. It just looks like all the other watches.
Some unroll.
right. It's a
The-
watch, but you'll be able to get it, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg and 10 years of waiting on a list.
That is true. Do we know if it's a perpetual calendar? It appears to have pushers rather than being controlled from the stem. So you'll have the issue of having to, of how you set it. By the looks, it's not like the IWC.
Right.
So it's going to be a pusher operated one. This is if the picture will appear, which it's not. Don't worry about that later. I was going to show you the three-hand one. Oh, there's some horror stories there. There's that's a 3-hand where the globe is a lot more.
Oh yeah, it's a
obvious.
lot more visible.
No, I don't.
Reminds me of like the Pan Am logo. It's just
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
I don't think it's entirely offensive. It's £1,500.
Is it? That's not bad.
It's for somebody who is looking for a kind of daily wear dress watch, sport watch, wear with
and for a COSC certified, that's not bad.
Right.
Watch is not too bad. So let's do hit miss maybe on this. I don't know if you.
Oh, I have to get my thing. Well, I'm gonna
Sophie.
do my fingers.
On your marks, get set, and the answer is. There we go. Excellent. You can all see that.
All hits, one miss.
Yeah, that seems to be the conclusion. Let's get back to this. So next up is, let me share, is a GP.
This looks awesome.
Beautiful.
I really love it.
Me too.
Take us away on this then, Sam.
Yeah, I really like the black tile, but also having the accents of just the different colors. You got the silver, got the globe, which is an odd choice, but I think it's really, really, really awesome. You don't see that every day.
No, and I suspect you won't see one of these every day at whatever.
And I think if I remember correctly, the tourbillon is actually set on the plate directly. There is some kind of an arm that comes out of the plate, and the tourbillon is almost like suspended.
Can you zoom in?
I'm going to try the actual site that this is on is pretty poor.
There is if you can get
and get a better look at it from GP's own site. Hold on, it's just loading. It's taking its time.
I like the constellation sky chart complication too. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
What's
the case thickness? Do you know? Is it like really raised or because of it?
I don't know.
That's nice.
Can't
That's a
tell.
good guess. Yeah.
That does look cool. It reminds me of the GLC that's got the world time, that's got the globe complication on it. It is 22 mil.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You can wear it as a bracelet.
Is that 22 mil thick, including the actual sapphire itself? Because it'll be quite thin, and then it'll have the globes obviously on top.
Well, it's also
fair point.
Wide as well.
That's like when you look at some of the MBNF stuff, and it just rises straight off.
Right, good point.
A side profile. I cannot see one on here. Regrettably, it's not actually a terribly good website.
How much is this one?
This, I suspect, this is one of these. Yeah, see the bottom where it says "rest."
It's never a good sign.
That means it's affordable. That means it's affordable. You don't have to worry about the price.
Yeah.
Right.
It's free. It's free. There's no price.
Or it means also if you have to ask, it means you can't afford it.
Oh,
it's such a part of
my hopes and dreams. Thanks.
I'm so sorry, Sam.
Okie doke.
Have they got live chat?
I have to get a live chat. They haven't. They've got a discovering shop. If they did, we could go for that. That would be quite amusing, actually. But there we go. So let's do the usual on this. Give us a hit miss, maybe. On your marks, get set, go. And it's a hit. It's a miss from Alex. Come on, Alex. What's your...
Alex, you're tough.
I've got to keep my trademark negativity going. It's 22. Was it 22 millimeters thick? Come on.
Okay, yeah, that's probably the one definitely bad con for it.
There's a reason they're not showing a side shot of it, because it's 22 millimeters thick.
Yeah, of how easily it could go under a cuff for sure.
Yeah.
But do people who buy these kind of watches, do they ever actually wear it, or is it one that just sits in the watch winder and they show it to people that they come over like, here's, I got this thing. I can't wear it, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Daniel Wellington, Alex, so it's really not up your street. It's too classic. Cool, right. So next up then, as we head in for the evening, is this.
It's a parking meter.
This
Was it scales?
Oh, this is
No.
such a good parking meter, though.
this brand owned by Bulgari, I want to say. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. What does it say?
well,
Bottom?
I need to close a door. So talk amongst yourselves for 2 seconds while I do that. Ricky,
This
so
is-
you're in
What do you want
charge.
me to say? I'm in charge. God.
This
that
the
was a
side
bad idea.
view is terrible on it. Like this,
Right.
it looks. I think it looks okay from the front, but the side, it looks like, I don't know, an accordion had sex with a hockey puck or something. It's pretty crazy at the side. I'm not. It's like they've tried to do the kind of coin edge from a breggy, but it's kind of gone wrong.
Is Rick back or is someone moving his mouse?
What's that watch that you bought, Ricky, way back, the Kickstarter one? Not Isotope. What's it called?
No, it wasn't me. It was Ike Pod, and it was Simon at Porter's.
Is that not what
Very
this?
Ike Pod. Yeah.
The case says that a bit about it. Yeah.
I think it's quite. I was going
I
to say
love
cool, and then
it.
you showed me it again. It's interesting.
I don't know how. I don't know.
I
how
love
You need to
anything
get the side
jumping.
view.
See if
I
there's.
love anything jumping on the watch.
Pull up
I
a little
love
bit.
jumping hour, jumping minutes, jumping
So they've made
date.
they've made the minute hand look like a coffin, Rick. He'll be right in there.
I am a big fan of jumpers, has to be said. It does win for the fact that it's a jumper complication. I just think that is the coolest of cool complications. I'm not quite sure why they've done this extra minute track within it, as to.
Oh, just in
That's
case you
the
don't
data
figure
file.
out that the little index is 5 minutes.
Yeah, what becomes in between 20 and 30?
Just in case you needed some assistance with your addition. I don't know how much it is. I've not seen a price on this.
I think I
So
saw
what's
at
the
the bottom.
story? Is this
15,000 something.
was this ever designed by Gerald Gentra, or is it just his name slapped on it?
I think it was like in
There you go.
the 60s, late
Well,
60s.
in the 90s, they were popular. He was doing the like Mickey Mouse jump hour hands. which
Yes, and that was
Yeah.
one. That's
Yeah.
true. This one used to be one of the Mickey Mouse, correct?
Those
which
were
was
cool. And those
Kind
were,
of fun, yeah.
Yeah, because he set up his own brand, did this, and then it was taken over, and it was effectively shelved by Bulgari. And now, in the last couple of
15,000.
years, they've decided to bring it back. So there we go. So
Also pronounced buggery, depending who you speak to at Fratello.
or Monochrome and their submariners.
Did you see another of our staff get stolen by a competitor?
Yeah, it's
That's
all
all
these
about-
careers are starting out at Scottish Watches. We've got one's
Aye.
gone to Fertella and the other one's trying to go to Time and Tide. It's outrageous.
Terrible. And Ben Hodges disappeared as well.
That's true. Although he was never one of us.
Really?
Did you notice that there's a lot of yellow this year in watches?
Good point. No, I
There's
hadn't thought of that.
I mean, I've seen yellow so much, and even Sam is wearing yellow, which I think is awesome. It's such a great color on a watch.
Mhm.
But this year I've seen a lot of yellow.
Apollo 8 was leading the way last year. That's what it was.
Omega doing what they do best, trend setting. Just wait for that. Spit out his drink.
Well, the Tudor started it 5 years ago with the North Flag.
All right, okay. So the North Flag has been the trendsetter in watches the last 5
Did
years
anybody like the North Flag?
ever.
I didn't
I
mind
have
it.
one.
He's got
You
one.
have one? Oh, right.
Yep.
Okay. I'll stop talking now.
No, go ahead.
Tell us what you think about the North Flag, Alex.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was just a bit something different. And I think probably now we see all the same thing over and over again from Tudor. We should probably go back and celebrate the one time they did something a bit different from a Black Bay. Like, we
True.
should encourage them a little bit.
Good point.
Does
Absolutely.
the North Flag have the open case back too? That was the watch they
Yep.
used to introduce their in-house movements, right? With an open case back, which was big for Tudor Rolex type of thing. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's the only one with an open case bag actually.
All right.
I like it. The only thing I didn't like was the power reserve on it because it throws the symmetry off, and that's my big deal.
Good. So give us the judgment on this Gerald Gentra hit miss maybe, and then we've got one more left. It's a hit from Sophie, it's a maybe from Arthur, maybe that's a kind of same. And in the chat, I see that Rob's on from Geneva Blue. Make sure you go out and buy your Bark and Jack straps this afternoon. Put in Geneva Blue and you'll get a 10% off your Bark and Jack straps. So there we go. So that's
Ricky, you didn't like it? No?
No. Well, I think this next one will be right up Ricky's street if he can manage to keep a straight face and not make any rude jokes.
Can't promise anything.
This is the Purnell Escape to Carbon and Escape to All Black.
Why would I make jokes, Rick?
I have no idea. I can't think that you would think that resembled any form of human anatomy. What?
No.
Why would you suggest that to him? Why would you put that stuff in his head? Like, he doesn't need help with that, right?
No, I would say it reminds me of many more things. I mean, that could be the thing that Ripley uses in Aliens when she's got the machinery around her. It could be,
Yep.
It could be a dune buggy. It could be anything at all. It doesn't resemble testicles whatsoever. It looks like Bumblebee from Transformers. That one in the left.
The yellow one, yeah.
True.
These are actually quite cool. I mean, I have no idea how wearable they are. Has anyone seen?
Click that video. It looks pretty crazy in the video.
Okay, this might go horribly wrong. I need to get rid of the sound.
Oh, look at that. See, it's a transformer.
It's gonna come out.
It's Transformer that got stuck.
I mean,
doing a Windows update.
Surely that's going to break time you hit it against something.
Yeah,
Play
I
the
think
video
the
again. Let's see
movements-
that again. Rick, let's see it again.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready for the jokes, folks?
No, I'm just looking at it. You could imagine Indiana Jones in the middle running away from them.
or Evil Knievel riding a motorcycle around in circles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the movement's cool, but I really cannot stand that open space in the
The
middle.
gap.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like they forgot something, or and it's on
Yeah.
every one of their watches, so that's a
Oh,
problem,
yeah.
man.
They've got room for another
Just-
spinning
oh.
ball.
The
It's
price.
got 6
Oh my God, the
mainsprings,
price.
but it's only 32
Wow.
hours power reserve.
What is the price? $500,000? Jesus.
I know it's crazy expensive.
But it's
And
so-
by the way, their loom is the same one as Tucker, and they actually saw what we did, and no joke, and they went to the same manufacturer to make their tourbillon with the same loom that we did, like the hydro. It's hydro dipped, just FYI.
Oh, okay.
It's a hydro loom. They did exactly what we did.
Alex, can I
Just
suggest?
saying.
Can I suggest swaps?
So that's why they have a gap in between. They couldn't stump up for the extra complication because they all went to the loom.
Mm.
Maybe.
The
We need to-
Caliber CP03. That reminds me of something.
It's the fact they
Quick
try.
reversal letter before Disney sues.
Yeah.
There we go.
I quite like that.
Well, give us a final hit miss, maybe then. And
There you go.
it's a miss. I think overall that's a miss, and the audience would
A
say,
miss.
well, "I'm not quite sure what."
The
the
one I gave the best score to, I mean,
I know.
I was going to. Rob and Sophie need to swap so that Sophie can go on your show and talk about Talker every opportunity she gets, and on here.
and he can come on your guys and talk about his straps all the time. Yeah.
So what we need is a Talker watch with a Geneva Blue strap, and then the universe will implode.
Yeah, but
Let's
you
do
know what,
it.
Rick? You know what, Rick? There's actually going to be a talker video on our channel next week because it's nearly done.
Was that nearly a segue
It was nearly
that
a
I just
segue.
made?
It nearly
Ah,
was.
there you
yeah.
go. So keep an eye out for that. So
In
what's
the
everybody looking for?
in the chat, Flares said that last one is a miss and that they'd prefer a hydro dip Tucker.
Ah!
Tune in next week. We're giving one away.
There you go.
Sophie doesn't know yet.
That's not a bad idea to do a game. We'll talk about it
No,
offline.
we'll talk about that one offline. Yeah.
Because our prize draws go so smoothly every time we do
Yeah.
them.
When they get infiltrated.
Absolutely. So there we go. So what's everybody got coming up this week? Alex, what have we got to look forward to on Fifth Edition Radio?
We've got our big thing where it's just like tons of people talking over each other for 3 hours. That's going to come out tomorrow, and that's about as far ahead as it go.
I was
Good.
speaking to Jody, and he was telling me that he enjoyed the recording experience with you guys.
What did he say? Unprofessional or
No,
terrible?
he actually said he enjoyed it. He said it was a bit long. It was like 2 hours long, but he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he was like bursting for a pee by the end of it. We were still trying to talk to him, and he was like, I really need to pee, guys. I really need to pee. But he also didn't have a drink with him, which was such a letdown.
Oh, wee shame.
Scottish guys on the show with no drinks. It'll never
I
catch
know.
up. And what about everybody else? Sam, what have you got going on this week? Anything newsworthy?
Nothing newsworthy. Just trying to work, and I'm trying to get the new Seiko Presage. I forget
The sharp edge
new
one.
Yeah. Trying to get one of those.
Good
So
stuff.
I'm excited.
And has anybody got anything else that they're waiting on arriving? No,
Are we not getting all Daytonas or something? Did we not get told that
today? Because we got all these Daytonas, but there we have it. We will see. It's red.
Rick, are you doing lots of reviews of things?
Well, maybe. Why? Because you've done all these photos.
Because you made me go and like do photos of lots of watches.
I'm actually
and stuff like that.
Watches that I've been holding on to for months.
Hey guys, when you went to Rolex today, were the watches on display only, or were they available for you to buy?
Available to buy.
Really? Okay, because I was in Paris. Huh, interesting. I was in Paris 2 days ago, and I went into the Rolex store, and they were just for display. Like you could not buy it. The OP. I was looking at the blue and the pink OP, and they would not sell them. You had to order them, and then they would just.
No, they weren't available from stock. These were ones that had been ordered in, and customers had been picking them up. They only arrived over the last couple of days.
Okay.
They went in display cabinets.
Yeah. Okay.
But they reckon they had been close to the busiest Rolex boutique, I think, anywhere.
Because it's brand new, and they had their official launch a couple of days ago. Rolex have stocked them to the gunnels because it's only the second one in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Obviously, the man who's in charge of Watches Switzerland's from round the corner because he's from Glasgow. So there we go. So the Glasgow boutique, that's where to go for all your Rolex needs. #
Very nice.
Bonus. Anyway, so anything else for this week coming? It's Red Bar Global this weekend.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Hands up if you're going to be taking part. Arthur will be there.
Yep.
Derek, Ricky, Philogius. Sam, are you not involved, or Sean? No Oris Bears for you. Never mind. And Alex, you shun such things as...
Of course. Anything organised, I'm out.
Good stuff. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining folk in the chat. Bye. Remember, use Geneva Blue as your code on barkandjackshop.com to get 10% off your Bark and Jack strap. That's Geneva Blue as the discount code. Speak to you again soon, Rob. Good stuff. Thanks all for joining us. So, as I say, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from all of them.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye.